Do you know how to make boundaries? Do you know how to make boundaries out of love? Or is boundaries a scary thing for you? I'm Chaya and I'm back with another episode of Unstuck and Unstoppable, the series that was created for me and you, for people who want to get out of every situation that tries to bog us down, and most of all, who want to learn how to be unstoppable. Today's episode, it's close to my heart because I've struggled with boundary setting pretty much all my life. And yesterday I had to set the biggest boundary I've ever had to set, and it was scary. I was shivering. In fact, as I spoke, I could hear my heartbeat, and I can literally hear it, and I'm thinking to myself, my God, you're scared, aren't you? So what is it about boundary setting that is so tough? First, let's start there. Do you know what boundary setting is? Boundary setting is when we set down a boundary, a line, as to what we're willing to do and what we're not willing to do. And why is it so tough? See, growing up, I can talk about my experience, and from what I've heard of a lot of other people, boundary setting in my house was not a thing. And most people, since most people struggle with it, this is a generational pain. Most people's parents did not put down healthy boundaries. In fact, they probably even practiced the opposite. See, in my house, when I ran to my room and tried to lock the door, if I was lucky enough, I locked the door before I lost my space. But even if I did, I was made to feel guilty about the fact that I left to go find my own space instead of being encouraged to take my space when I need it. And I remember the times where, my dad would get into the room and I would be so scared because I dared to want to have my own space and my own boundaries. And that's just one of many examples. Some parents talk a lot excessively about, their children to other people, and the children hear about it, and hearing that is a lack of boundaries. I mean, not even hearing that, doing that is a lack of boundaries. Talking about your kids to everyone but your kids is just not fair and not right, and really a lack of boundaries. Now, if you haven't been modeled boundaries, anything you haven't been modeled is hard. It's tough because you don't know the results and you've never seen it. And the brain likes stuff that it knows, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's unsafe. It would prefer that. I stayed in a 9-month relationship with a guy that was physically, mentally, emotionally, every way that possible, abusing me. And you know why? When people ask me, and I ask myself this question, the only answer I can come up with is that I was so deathly afraid of what happens when I leave. I had no idea, no concept of what happens, that the concept of staying, even with all the pain, was better than walking away. What I did yesterday was something that I've been practicing within myself, and what I wanted to express and explain today. And actually what I want to do is I want to model it to you. So for a while, for myself, what I started doing was creating my own boundaries within myself, for myself, and for the world around me. And I like to call them inner boundaries, energetic boundaries instead of energetic. And what happened with time was, it's really cool. I created these boundaries of when I don't feel like giving to other people, then I'm not answering phone calls. I'm going to spend time with me so that I'm not in the position to be asked to do something I'm not comfortable doing. And as soon as I made that boundary, suddenly it became very comfortable for me. Another boundary, and then I put my phone on silent. And now if I'm available, I see your phone call. Or when I see your phone call, that means I'm available. I'll call you back. And my friends fully respect it. There's no part that doesn't, and whoever didn't just left. And that's okay. I want people who respect my boundaries, right? And a bunch of these inner boundaries. And now I am a little bit stumbling just because what I need to talk about today is really hard for me to talk about. For a very long time, I knew that outer boundaries is something I need to work on. And instead of telling this to you in a way of like, I've already achieved this, I've already acquired this skill, I'm actually going to tell it to you from a place of I haven't acquired it, and this is a skill that everyone needs. And I know because not having it has costed me so much, so much. So I tend to want to make everyone happy. And not anymore in a people-pleasing way, but in a way of like, if it doesn't bother me, then go for it. And what happens is, though, that some people take advantage of that. And, you know, start making me feel bad for having needs for safety. See, having been that badly abused by men in my past, I'm not comfortable with them around. That's the truth. I don't want to be alone around them, or I prefer them not in my house, in my own comfort zone, you know? And I understand, and I have no disrespect for people who do, but for me, it's just not something I want. And the same goes for drugs. Having been around it, you know, it's something I don't want in my life, and I don't want it in my home. And yesterday I had to put down that boundary. And the truth is, I was shaking inside. But I had to put down that boundary because the reality of what is going on in my house is really hard to allow to slide by. And I don't want to do that. I've done that all my life, and I want to stop doing that. So by not putting down this boundary right in the beginning, by like being vague about it, I did mention, but vague, and not putting it down as a boundary, as a rule, what happened was it slowly started to be broken here and there and there and there and there, until one night last week, there were guys over in my house on drugs, and I honestly had just fallen asleep a few minutes ago, and I woke up and I can hear it, and it was just really disturbing and really, really brought up a lot of PTSD. And this is my home that I worked so hard to create. That's what's hard for me to share, to be so honest and open, especially speaking from a space of I haven't acquired it yet. And what I want to tell you is like this: when you finally set your boundaries, it won't feel particularly good. In fact, it might feel downright bad. Because you know what I've learned? People want to put you back into the role you've been playing. Before that, I've been playing a little bit of the, victim triangle with her, and she'd rather that, because then she could continue doing what she was doing, even though she knows good and well that that's not okay. And I know I'm being very open here and actually sharing a lot. It's, I believe, important, and I'm hoping that you can hear it from me and realize for yourself, oh my God, that's what I do here. And that's why I feel this feeling there. When you feel that uncomfortable feeling of like, am I allowed to feel like, am I allowed to want this or not want that? I want you to know something. You can always have boundaries. Boundary setting makes you feel powerful. And I know I'm a little rambling, but I don't know. I wish I would have seen something like this before, so that I would have known. And stepping away from the past, I'm so glad now to start this journey of learning how you set healthy boundaries with other people, not only myself. Setting it with myself has changed my life, but setting it with others, it's important. And it doesn't need to be, is that how it sounds to you? Because to me it did. I was like, boundary setting? Oh my God, hell no. Like, I'm not, what am I? I'm not here to like teach people how to do, no. I'm here to love me enough that I get to say, wait, these are what I need to feel safe. If you can't respect it, that's going to be an issue. We're going to have to deal with that. And I wish I could say that it went so easy and smooth. It actually didn't. I did leave my emotional side out and just spoke straight up, but it wasn't very well received, as you can imagine. And the moment after she left, I was like, 1 second, what just happened? And for a moment there, I actually start crying, and I was like, oh my God, I'm like trying to do what you want me to do. And then I was like, oh my God, I am not falling for this trick. I am not becoming a victim here. I am not a victim. I don't need to fall back into that triangle so that she can continue doing what she's doing. Setting my boundary means I might lose everything and I might gain the whole world. Do you have boundaries that you haven't set? Are there certain people that always make you feel uncomfortable? What will happen when you finally tell them your boundary? Will they leave? Do you anyway, on some level, wish they left? So go ahead, tell them your boundary. And if they leave, great. If you have to leave, okay. It might be tough for a few moments, it might. But combine yesterday's episode to today. Use prayer the way I am. I keep saying, God, please help me give this one up to you. Help me do whatever it is that you want me to do. I know there's something you want me to do here. Help me do it the way you want. And surrender to you the way I need to. Combine the two. See for yourself what happens as you start to set boundaries. The real people will love you because now they'll know. They'll know with a certainty when it's a yes and when it's a no. And the other ones, I mean, do you really have time all your life to feel like you don't deserve to step up and say what you really want? And you aren't being encouraged to do that? Or do you want to be around people who encourage you saying that? Saying, I can't do this. I don't feel comfortable. I don't want to. These are my boundaries. I'll see you soon. And you deep down know if you have trouble with this, and you deep down know that, look, these are the repercussions of not doing it. Are you ready to join me on this journey of finding out how we do set healthy boundaries? All right, if you like this episode, I know I did it different. Therefore, I need to know if you like it, you like this. You let me know. This video, like it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Go subscribe now. See you soon.